Life. Well, welcome again, guys. Today we have a very special guest. Aus America is one of the guys is working lots of years to create very special trucks and lots of products for us to ride and to race. And I have the pleasure to have him here. I think he's a very special person for all the community around the world. And lots of persons ask me when he's going to come, and I ask him, and he's here. How are you, my friend?
Doing well, Nelson. Doing well.
Thank you for coming, my friend. First of all, like always, I know I speak with one of the riders who ride with you, and he say you have lots of years trying to create these fantastic trucks and boards that now you are starting to sell around the world. I speak with Dave. I'm going to have Mario here, and that is very important thing because lots of persons ask me lots of questions, and I think today is the right day for us to maybe explain to everybody a little more about your trucks and about what you are doing in your business. How everything started, like always, my friend.
Well, it didn't start with skating, so you kind of take it where we're at and go back a little ways, and we'll kind of figure it out as we go. I don't come from a skate background. I mean, I skateboarded when I was a kid, but up till the time I was able to drive a car, that I don't think I touched a skateboard till later, a lot later. We used to have had a big dog as a kid and a skateboard, and a couple of buddies that had dogs and skateboards, and they'd pull us all over the town on them, and that was our way of getting around. But so going forward, I started racing at 11 years old with my pops, and he had stock cars and stuff before that. He was dirt, oval track. Primarily, he did a little asphalt oval track as well. Put me in the go-karts when I was about 11 years old, and when I got my driver's license, I started racing on the big track. And it's a lot of stock car racing. You build pretty much everything that you run. If you need a special control arm that sucks the right front tire in on the top, you build it. So there was a lot of a necessity to it as far as making the parts that we needed to make things go, and then trying to figure out a way to make a better mousetrap to take to the track so we could start winning races and stuff. But so I spent a lot of time playing with stock cars. I was a mechanic. Started out in a mom and pop garage, worked for dealerships, had my own shop for 8 years. And we were pretty much involved with racing the whole way through. People I worked for, my own stuff too. But eventually we got into open wheel racing, which is outside of the stock car stuff. They say one of my open wheel guys, one of my friends, he used to call our stock cars taxi cabs because they were big and heavy and slow and didn't make a lot of horsepower. And when we started messing around with the open wheel stuff, we're talking about a 1,300-pound car that makes 780 horsepower that hooks up on the dirt, and pulls the front tires off the ground going down the straightaway. It's definitely a different animal than the stock car stuff. But my background that I took from racing, I just got this mentality about it that if you're not trying to do something to get a little more speed out of what you're working with, then you're not really racing. It's just so my journey through all of this led me into engineering manuals, pretty much a lot of trial and error, taking a lot of what other people had taught me and taking in and building a toolbox off of that, taking the good information, taking all information, but taking the good information, the stuff that applied, the stuff that I could use, the stuff that made sense to where my thought was going with the next thing we were doing with the race car, and capitalizing off of that. And like I said, just building the good toolbox off of that. So race car vehicle dynamics was my passion for years. Fast forward a little bit, 2003, and let's see here. No, I take it back. It was 2000. My daughter, we started getting her involved in racing at 6 years old. And so just real quick, it was open wheel, quarter scale midgets. So, these things, they start out like 3.5 horsepower. They're a fully tuned suspension and chromoly tube chassis, radius rods, bar angles, all the same stuff that we were doing with the big cars, but for little kids. And we raced, national events, and she had a pretty good career. And at 14 years old, she got a ride with the grown-ups on the big track, 3/8 mile dirt oval, running midgets. And at 14 years old, it was kind of a weird thing because they had just dropped the age from 16 to 14. So we were approached by a guy named Don Emery, and he pulled resources together, bought a car and put her in it. And I mechanicked it, and we had a lot of good years of racing the midgets all over the place. We went to all over the country, up and down the West Coast, and clear back in Oklahoma. When she turned 16, she got a ride with a promoter named Jerry Schramm. He's a prominent promoter up in the Pacific Northwest, up in Washington, Oregon, driving a sprint car. So when we're talking about a sprint car, we're talking a wing on the top, 500 pounds of downforce, making, it was a limited motor. So I think it was making about 550 horsepower on alcohol. But she went out first year at 16 years old and won a championship with it. What that did is it opened up a door for her to go do some testing with NASCAR, with the Drive for Diversity down in Florida, and also the McAnally NASCAR deal down at All American Speedway. She went and tested with them. At one of those places, she bumped into one of the bigwigs with Toyota, and she wanted to get back on the dirt, and she asked this guy, hey, because they had Toyota has a really good midget motor program for the dirt midgets, and she asked him, how do I get into this, one of your motors? Well, these motors they're like $35,000 for a motor, and yeah, and granted, we don't, we're racing on a shoestring. We race off of what we make at work during the week, and we do the best we can with what we have, and it's always kind of been that way with it. And we've had a lot of success, and we lose more than we win, and that's just racing. But we learn a few things. But she ended up getting a ride with Toyota, and they sent her back to Indiana, and she drove for Zach Dahm Racing for a season back there, and she was a small fish in a big pond, and the midgets, they're 450, 470 horse, and they're about a 900-pound car with no wing, so they don't have that downforce and that grip of the sprint car. But she did really well with them. But anyways, so that was my daughter, and now pulling it all together to where we're at here. How did this happen from that, right? So
you are a very proud father, and that is very good, my friend.
she works.
Yeah, that is the important thing. First of all, the family, my friend. And you have,
Exactly. Yeah.
I see that you have lots of love for your doctor. That is fantastic, my friend. That is very, very good. It's not easy to find today, huh?
I'll tell you the secret to success that I had with my daughter is keep him busy. She's 26 now, and she is a hard-working, fun-loving, and just an all-around good kid. And I'm real proud of that.
I'm very sure she is proud of you, my friend, and that's very nice to listen to your story. Like everybody, I just want to say, I don't want you to stop with your story, but just want to say to everybody is here, thank you for coming to see. I see Mari is there, Brandon is there, Kim is there. Everybody is coming now because we always have a little minutes. Was a problem of starting, and now we are here, and I'm very proud to have you here and to listen a little more about your story, because your story is very important, and I think you're going to be in history of electro skateboards, my friend, because you created and you are creating every day something very special for all our community around the world, and everybody speaking about you and your what you are developing for all of us. Please, my friend, you can continue with your story. And that
All
is
right.
very nice. And take your time. This, don't forget, I always tell to everybody, this YouTube channel is for you guys, not for me. I don't win no money. I don't need nothing. I just enjoy to learn with all of you guys. That is the important thing. And I've
Well,
had lots of fun.
I don't want to kill him with rambling on too much about stuff that just, but so
No,
I
it's
was
very
about,
nice. For me, it's very nice, my friend. Take your time. Enjoy it.
so I was about to pull the past to the present. So she came home from that, from running for Toyota back in the Midwest, and she, it was winter, so there's not much going on with racing in the winter. And she says, "Hey, Dad, we need a project." I'm like, "Okay, what are you thinking?" She says, "I don't know." I go, "Well, hey, look, I got some remote control parts over here, and we got your brother's skateboard that just sits in the closet collecting dust, his park board." I go, "Let's put the two things together and see if we can make something go," right? So I had no clue at all about any kind of electric skateboard community out there doing any of this stuff. So we put this thing together, and it was a high KV in runner, 8th scale parts, and I think we had less than $200 in the whole thing, and it made about 15 miles an hour, and you would get about 4 or 5 miles out of a little 4S lipo pack, right? So not a lot going on there, but it was kind of fun to for us to build that thing, put it together, and go out and break it 200 or 300 times.
Do you still have this board, or you?
I don't. No, it's I might have one of the back trucks, but as far as the parts and pieces. Yeah, I've got some smoke motors that I think we had in it, maybe in a parts pile somewhere, over in the pile for the gifts of the gods of speed. But yeah, for the most part, that stuff's gone. But what it did is it got me introduced to the builder site, and so just like everybody else, you start reading and you go, "Oh shit, there's a whole bunch of people doing this out here." So I was having fun with it, so we got a little bit more serious, and built another board that was a single drive in runner based off of what we learned off the first one, with open gear drive and whatnot. And we went out and actually took it out to a group ride down in Venice, and we went from Venice to Santa Monica and back on this thing. And so that's where that started, and just chit-chatting back and forth, seeing what people were building, and figuring a few more things out. We put together it was later on that year. A couple of guys that were performance enthusiasts that were in there. Put together the Southern California Performance Day, which was a deal to kind of bring everybody out and see what their skateboards, see what their builds down here in Southern California could do. So that's when I got serious about it and got involved and really started putting my mind to making speed and distance and reliability and all that other stuff. So we hit SPD with the first generation 3-link, and I've got that truck around here somewhere. We went 45 mile an hour in 300 meters, start to stop. The stop part was a curb, so you had to be stopped at the end of 300 meters. But 45 miles an hour and 150 meters. Ooh. I think we made 8,200 watts on that board. I had no front bushings on the front. It was just a bare bones 3-link on the front that we come up with, and I had some janky bushings on the back, and we got it up to speed and got it slowed down and stopped, and that was good enough for that day.
And how many years, my friend, take you to come now to today? We just have to. I'm going to come to this Truchs. How many years do you study it and test it? And because I know that is lots of work here.
It is, and it's just a matter of taking the same approach I did with automobile racing, with sprint car racing. It's just coming up with a plan, building it, going out and riding it, and then taking the good points and moving on with those and adding some things here and there and making it better. And but it was 2017 when we made that first run on the 3-link, and I believe it was I think it was the same. I think it was the same year that it was the same year, I believe, that we went out and did the dry lake bed testing where we went 57. So we did that on dirt of all things. So
but it's like this for you guys. I just want to see it for everybody who's seeing now live and who's going to see later. I'm going to leave all the links here, all the links from him. You can find it if you go to his shop. You're going to find it everything there. You're going to find it videos because he has explanations of everything, how to work it. I think if you need something, the videos, I think they explain everything very well. I see all the videos and I know that works. I just have one question. I asked to the other guys. I don't want to ask you to. Now you are selling the trucks. Are you thinking to sell the wheels too? Because I know that you use wheels from other persons. You are trying to create your wheels, or are you going to? What is the future for you? What do you think?
So when we went on to after the Southern California Performance Day, we made an SPD too. And we were going to track race at this event, just track race. So I went out and I was testing and I couldn't find a wheel that would grip. Everything I got my hands on slid. I partnered up with a guy in Arkansas, and he owned a quarter scale wheel company that made wheels for quarter scale racing. And so he had some options there, and I sent him a set of urethane wheels, and I had some rubber sleeves put on them, and it was better, but it still wasn't a grippy piece. So we retooled up again, changed our pitch on our our gear drive, put a bigger gear drive on, went to a bigger wheel that he made, talked with him about what needed to change on his wheel so it would support a human being. And we went after that, and we came up with the race wheel and street wheel. And those things were fantastic. And we did a lot of racing on those for a couple of years. Sold a few sets to some people that wanted to go out and experience the grip levels that they had. And after a while, the foam that was in them started failing on us. So they had a race life in them. They could only take so many heat cycles before the foam would fail.
Okay.
And so we put that on the shelf because I had one of my house riders. We were in Colorado racing, and we were making hot laps on these things, and that was where the first wheel came apart. And
Ooh,
yeah, and it wasn't under racing, but it was because the board was just being ridden. Lots of people taking it out on the track and just didn't have any time to cool down. And anyways, the foam core came apart, and he broke his collarbone and broke his wrist. And so we put it on the shelf and said, we need to go find something else for this foam core. So I worked with a guy in Arkansas a little more. We found some high temperature, harder density, higher temperature foam, experimented with that. And so what I did, instead of putting my riders out on these wheels, is I built a wheel pull down rig that tests the wheel on a bench. So we ran that. I think you have a video of that somewhere of the wheel being tested on that rig. But we run that thing at 60 miles an hour for however many miles till we can get something to fail. We ended up trying taking the foam core out of it and just going with a thicker rubber sleeve on it. We lost ride quality, but the grip was still decent. And meanwhile, we needed something to race on, so we started using these the pneumatics, and they've been working out pretty good for us. They don't have the grip level of the old race wheel on asphalt, but they've been doing real well for us. So we stretched the wheel out a little wider to give the tire a better footprint to the ground, so you have more contact area. It's one of the things I picked up from an old timer along the way. Kid, he said, doesn't matter what you got for a car. It doesn't matter what you got for steering or suspension or how you have it tuned. You're only going to be as good as your contact patch.
Okay.
So,
this is the wheels what you are talking about, or that is another one?
Yeah. No, that's one of the late race wheels that we were testing. That was the solid rubber core, or the solid rubber sleeve without the foam. Yeah, we limited the failure, but we lost some of our ride quality out of it. So we put it up on the shelf.
Yeah, that is the important thing. When it's not okay, put it out. It's better for you. And let's talk about another thing that is very important. Do you going to make a complete board, or you just going to sell parts? What is the idea for you in the future, my friend?
I got you, man. I'll tell you what, I came into this with no expectations, just to have some fun on the weekends and, try and get some kind of a board sport going with this, some kind of a racing league or something along those lines. But as far as selling the boards, I've got a full-time job. This isn't my job. This is something I do fun on the weekends. And the tube chassis boards are real labor intensive. Takes, I don't know, but if I streamlined it and had a production place to be able to make a jig to bend all the pieces out and have everything, to make 50 or 100 at a time, it would definitely lay out a lot better time wise for making one. But it takes me about 100 hours to make one of those boards. It really, it's a labor of love, man. It really is. there's a lot of things that go in together to get everything right and square, and so you don't have something janky when you're done. But like I said, it's a labor of love. So I told myself that for the board stuff for now, I was just going to make things for people who race. So that's where the chassis is. But that doesn't mean later on that maybe, if the truck sales are good and this looks like something that might be viable in the future, I would love to open up a I don't know what you call it, a skateboard chassis shop.
Yeah, but you can put, but you can put it a different way, my friend. I think for you, this here, you are a race. You make race chassis. You make trucks for race, and I think there is a market there for you, my friend. And everybody now is looking. You see, like big companies, you don't have to put the names here. They are selling boards for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, and they are selling because the people want quality. They don't want to have a board that is $500 and you don't have no safety. Like a board like you take 100 hours, close to 100 hours to make something, is because your product have to be all leveled, everything have to be perfect, because if you're going to race, you have to have one tank is in really good conditions. You don't have. I think I speak with Dave. I know Dave. Dave is a guy. He's always running with us here. Sometimes he comes and I see his board, my friend, and I think that is amazing. I think that you have a big market for you around the world. The problem is I know that you're selling just the trucks and you are selling just parts, and I think try to put one or two out just to see how that works. Maybe you're going to be surprised. You never know, my friend.
You never know. Yeah, you never know. We've got a saying that we use. I think it was a quote from the F1 driver Rick Mears. Mm-hmm. In order to finish first, you first must finish. So, yeah. Get the prime. I guess the prime focus on these boards, other than going fast, is reliability. Making parts that don't fail, putting parts on the board that don't fail, and making something that's stable enough that somebody can ride it at 50, 55 miles an hour.
You can ride it too, my friend, because you create something for you and your friends. I see all the groups of friends who comes every Sunday with you and in weekends, and they come, and I know that you don't want to see your friends hurt. You want your friends to have fun, and you want that they have it a safety, first of all, enjoying and safety. And everybody here in Europe, I talk about the people I know in Europe, they want the same. They don't want not expensive thing. They want safety. Safety is the important thing today, my friend.
I think safety is priority one, above and beyond anything. So
I see your videos. I see videos from you, from your guys and everything. I feel safe. I know if I ride with one of your boards, I know that you lose lots of time, lots of hours to have a safety tank for everybody to ride. Of course, that is not for I'm going to tell to everybody there. This here is a board for guys who knows how to ride. That is not for a person who don't have no experience. Guys, if you don't have no experience, forget that is a machine to go faster. That is for experienced riders. And sometimes it's difficult for us who ride every day. Sometimes mistakes can happen. Then we have to be prepared for that. And the person who is not prepared for that, having a machine like this or a very powerful machine is not going to be very nice. You have to know how to ride it. Don't you think it's the same? Yeah, please. Sorry.
No, I'm going along with your thought there. It's one of these things that if you're gonna be at any kind of speed like that, you really got to have the experience before you try it. Otherwise, it's, I don't know, man. The skateboard markets and the parts they have out, falling on a skateboard is, and you see people that are you know, they got broken bones and they're bleeding, and they show their injuries on the interwebs, and I just go back to most of it is not right or error.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a failure of a part, and when you're committed to standing on a plank of wood, and that plank of wood gets yanked out from under you, and you can't anticipate it happening, your face is going to hit, you know, the pavement, and
Mm-hmm.
when you don't have the gear on to take that, that's another you know, something that could have been mitigated, problem that could have been taken care of before it happened. But I see a lot of part failures out there, and one of the main things that I like about where we're at with our program is we're still running the same electronic speed controllers we were running 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We haven't had one electronic speed controller failure since we started running the Castle stuff on 8S. And that other than a couple of motor failures doing short track on a 70 mile an hour final drive setup, which shouldn't have been happening. It's just too tall a gear for a little 20 mile an hour track. And we were hot lapping, you know, making lap after lap after lap after lap after lap. And yeah, we had a couple of motor smoke there, but other than that, we haven't, I've got motors that are still 2-3 years old that we race on. So I'm really happy with this 8S setup, even though people look at it and go, you know, 30 volts, what are you doing with 30 volts? How are you making power with 30 volts? It's just simple, you know, electrical math. If you're running 60 volts, you only need half the amps to make the same power, but you're going to have your motor spinning twice as fast at the end of it. So we've got a thing with our setup. Generally speaking, for 90% of what we do, we only use about 65% of what our power capabilities are for racing. So
yeah, but the important thing when I see with you guys, you have safety, you have protections, you are prepared, you are for a race board, and that's what the people have to understand outside. If you go out with a board that is going to be fast, protect yourself. That is a speed board. You have to watch it.
It goes with any whether you're going 10 miles an hour or you're going 60 miles an hour. You want to dress yourself for the slide and not the ride.
Yeah.
So
I always tell to everybody, guys, like me, I'm a guy who always wear protection. And one day I was with friends and I say, okay, I was in my car and I say, okay, I'm going to ride for 5 minutes. I don't need my jacket. I'm just going to go there. I'm going to come back and is everything fine? What happens?
Collarbone.
Yeah. That happens very fast, my friend. And that's why sometimes you think that, oh, that is just 2 minutes, no problem. No, man. Put your safety. Can happen all the time.
If you've had the pleasure of watching my desert slide video, where we're out speed testing on the desert, I got a pretty good ragdoll moment out there at 57 miles an hour, and the guy who did all the videotaping on that was Derek Masuli. He was one of our original in the group that was into performance and building and going fast. And he ended up working on one of his builds, and he took it out for a ride and no helmet come off of it. And he's no longer with us because of that. And it's, you know,
it's hard.
It's
very hard.
It's hard, but you know, some of the lessons if you look back in like our stock car racing, sprint car racing, every safety feature we have in these cars is because it's all paid back in blood.
Yeah.
You know, somebody got hurt and something had to change to make things better for everybody. I mean, shit, back in the 60s, they didn't even know what a fire suit or a fuel cell was back then. You know, a lot of these guys were running out of beer kegs to put their fuel in. That's no joke. I mean, back in the 50s, even they were racing with jockey helmets. I mean, just something leather, you know, a football helmet, old leather football helmet. And but anyways, like I said, safety unfortunately is paid in blood. And you see somebody going, I mean, it doesn't take much. You take your helmet off, stand flat-footed, jump up in the air, and try landing on your head and see how your head does. That's a 0 mile an hour crash, essentially, on a skateboard.
Yeah. And my friend, what type of batteries do you use in your boards?
All of our stuff is all lithium polymer. And
okay,
the reason why lithium polymer, the discharge rate is fantastic for the size that they are. And we need 400 amps on our boards just available to make them work right. Any bottleneck in design that you have, meaning if you have a motor that's capable of taking 400 amps, you need an ESC that can take 400 amps. You need batteries that can deliver 400 amps, and you need bus work in between, the wiring in between that can also take it. You don't want any bottlenecking in any design ever. It's a recipe for failure.
What motors do you put, normally in your race boards?
I got one right back here.
Well, give me a second, and now here.
All right. So this little guy here, this is our standard what we run. It's a 56. See if I can get that upside down. 5694 800 kV. This motor that I'm holding in my hand will make 12,000 watts at 60 volts.
Okay.
Right there. That's 16 horsepower.
That is a very powerful.
Out of one motor. So we run it at half.
Okay.
That motor's capable of taking 200 amps. And we run it at 30 volts. So we spin the motor half as fast than it's designed to do, right? So we're not overspinning bearings with it. And we also, we're running half the horsepower essentially through it. So
and you are a person that I understand. You are a person that you listen to the guys who are riding with you all the time.
Feedback is the most important thing if you're going to move anything forward.
That is the beautiful thing, because of most of the guys. Brands who are there, don't forget, the important thing is listen to everybody. Sometimes it's stupid things, but guys who knows how to ride, you're going to listen to them, and then maybe you're going to have a nice feedback, and that is the important thing. I think for you, I speak with Brandon, and he said that you take so many years to put these trucks together, and today I see it how they are. I think that is perfection. I know that every day we are putting everything better and better, but I think now you came to a point that everybody can buy it, and I know there is lots of persons here in Europe how to buy it. How that works, like when you ship without out of USA. It's easy in a moment. It's problems because of this COVID-19. If somebody wants to buy it from Europe or from Asia or from Australia, it's easy, or in a moment is a little difficult.
Shipping's kind of funny because each country has their own customs that you have to put in. It's with the day and age of the technology stuff, though. Our shipping agent that we have that handles all of our labels, printing and shipping, whatnot. They kind they take care of the customs part of it for us. But yeah, some places are definitely harder to ship to. I got a set of downhill trucks that are going to be going to a downhill team in Brazil. And we're trying to figure out a good way to do there, because the government there has their hands in everything that comes across the border. So what the reports are is that a lot of stuff comes up missing.
My friend, I live there. I was living before there. I send from Europe television to my wife, because my wife was in Brazil. My wife comes out of Brazil, and do you believe it? That was 3 years disappear. Nobody knows it, but the company in Europe say we want to find it, and 3 years later they find it and say, oh, that is broken, and. In Brazil, always something happens, my friend. That you have to be very, very careful.
Right.
It's very sad. It's very sad.
Yeah. So the guy that we're working with in Brazil to get this going, he's got a import business there of all things. So I think probably we're going to put him on a boat and ship him that way and see if we can get him there. But definitely that I've had some stuff we shipped to Australia. That with the COVID, it was like 3 months later, and hey, where is this stuff? I had
it's a problem, my friend.
I had a package last year that we sent to David Bond. Same thing. 3 months later, oh crap! So what we did is we got a different shipping company, loaded up another box of completely different parts, and reshipped everything to him. And it was funny because he got the box, and then 2 weeks later, the other stuff showed up. And what can you do? What can you do? But for the most part, it is.
And it's difficult. And it's difficult for you, my friend, because you don't
is.
know where is the stuff. You send it, and the customer is asking, and you say, "Hey, I sent to you, my friend." Is in,
Right.
and sometimes it's difficult. I know. I come from Brazil, guys. What he's telling is the truth. In Brazil, if you are from Brazil, hey, pessoal do Brasil, é a verdade. Yeah, all the Brazilian guys, they know that. Don't worry. In Brazil, it's very difficult because the politics. When you come to the police, the control in Brazil, sometimes there is when it's a nice thing. It's like magic, disappears and nobody knows what happened. We don't want to say bad words, but is the life in Brazil, my friends.
Skating downhill is very big in Brazil right now.
It's very big.
It's doing real well. Yeah, they're going to have some world champions coming out of there again.
And they make nice decks, my friend. They have nice decks. The Brazilian people are fantastic. Believe it. We don't have to talk about politics or the persons in Brazil. They are fantastic. If you want to have a blast, go there and enjoy your life. There you're going to have. If you are a normal person like us, don't worry to go to the favelas or something like that. They're going to treat you very well. Believe it or not. Everybody talks. Oh, you are a gringo. You're going to have problems. No, in Brazil, you're going to be well received. Just go with a white t-shirt and no special shoes like Adidas or Nike. Then you are one of them, my friends, and you're going to have lots of fun. And now, my friends, we come back to the subject. For you, my friend, today you make boards for the riders, the guys who ride with you, like Mario, like Brandon, like there is more persons who are riding with you. And how many time do you have to take to put everything together for them? Because what I understand from Brandon, every rider is a different board. You have to make it. Is that works like that? For every rider, you have a different design. You make for every.
We've got different versions of the progression from the first tube chassis board. We've added drop, some more drop to it. But as far as the drivetrain goes, the drivetrain stays about the same. So my tube chassis board that I started out on, we nicknamed that one Grumpy. It's the one that tossed me off it in the desert, but I still race it. I raced it last month at Barrett Junction uphill, and but Jason, he rides the V3, which has a little bit different angle design to the Truchs, and it has less drop, and it's a front wheel drive. So, different things that we were trying with that. He swears by that front wheel drive, and that's what's good for him. So we left it there, and then the V4 that Brandon rides and Mario rides. Mario's board was the first V4, and we built 2 of those. So there's a brother and a sister out there, and Brandon's board is also a version 4 format. So it's just we built 2 of those from when we did Brandon's board too. One of them was 6 inches shorter that we made for Daniel Engel, and it's sitting up in the rafters. It's not complete yet, but it's like 90% there. We got to put electronics and motors and stuff on it, and that thing will be ready to rock. But he's a downhiller. He's a pro downhiller. Internationally, he was number 3 in the world a couple years ago. Just a good, solid guy, and I hope to see him racing this thing uphill with us this year and short tracking it with us as well. But it's we took him out, and he rode the V4 and he rode the V3, and he says his V4 is pretty nice with the drop and the rear drive. I got to have the rear drive. He says, but I want it 6 inches shorter. It's just what he's used to, with his downhill background. So
it's better for his style of riding.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. And we'll see if that plays true when we start short track riding. The amount of acceleration and deceleration that we have on these boards is capable right there alongside with a car. I mean, they pull that hard and they stop that quick, and you really got to have your tripod set up with your feet. You got to have a nice triangle made, so that means stretching the board out and getting your feet out. So, but Daniel, he's got all the motor skills, and he's got all the reflexes and the muscle memory, and I think he'll be really hard to beat on this little short. We call it short board, but it's still long.
I just want to say from Paris, there is a very special person. Cedric is a special rider. He is telling you big up to Moe. Cheers from Paris. He's a fantastic rider. He makes the event of it's electric in Paris together with Chris. I think you know him.
I'm familiar with Cedric. If we can get another show going out there, I think we're gonna make it out to this one. So
I hope, my friend. And if you don't have no place to stay, you're always welcome in our houses. Everybody's going to take care of all of you, all the team. Then we have the Ace Cage for life. My friend. I want to thank you for me, and for him, for you to be here in our life. Obrigado in Portuguese is that. That's then we have Dame. That is the guy who represents us here in Europe with the Truchs. Yeah, that is a fantastic person. Then you have another fantastic YouTuber here in UK. That is Amar. He has a YouTube channel, and he is asking about the Justin video. I know that is a Justin video. Is a fantastic video, but like I talk with Moe, we don't know if we have the authorization to put this video. Then it's better for us not to use it in a moment. Then it's going to be everything perfect for all of us.
I'm sure if Justin Yee was here, he would be okay with that. Like I said, I can't speak for him.
It is no problem, my friend. That's why I'm just sharing with them that they know. Cheers from
From Belgium.
Belgium. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a fantastic, guys. That is going to come to our live too. He's a fantastic DAI. He makes everything in his YouTube channel, and we have to take care of these guys because they are everything. Every day they are creating amazing things for us, like you, my friend. What you think? You're going to stay with this? Like I see David in Europe, you don't use the same deck like you guys. David use a deck uh, of what's the name of
Plywood.
yeah,
Like,
and
yeah.
you use another type. What for you? Is the weight the same, or the weight for your boards is not so heavy? What do you think is better for?
So for me, the tube chassis allows me to control things when I'm putting things together. It allows me to control flex, and it allows me to control twist. So with wood, you do that with concave shapes and W's and I use the tube chassis essentially with the paneling on it. The paneling turns it into like a monocoque, and it allows me to use the space between the deck and the bottom of the pan. It allows me to use all of it. I can fill it with batteries all the way to the top, or whatever. I can make it as thin as I want, as thick as I want. It just gives me a little better control over the structure and how the structure reacts to the trucks. So with the wood,
it's different.
The wood's different. I think the wood's fine. I think the wood's fine.
What
honestly,
do you think?
I haven't played with much performance wood decks. So,
but what do you think? When you have a wood is more flex, and with the material like me, I know that when I have a bamboo, I'm going to have more flex, and then when I have a carbon, I'm going to have more speed. Don't you think the his deck is going to take him maybe more speed and going to give him more flex in his board?
Well, I know the downhill guys have really spent a lot of time getting their deck shape right. They use stringers and they use different cross patches of different webbed carbon fiber to get the twist out and to get the flex out of them, and try and retain some kind of a ride quality out of them too. There's a science to it. My background it was just easy to go with steel and angles, you know. That's where I come from. It's what I know. I'm not saying that wood can't be fast. I'm sure it can. Just for me, it was an easy thing. So
There is Brandon is asking where you get these sexy hats.
freaking Torgo. That guy's a character, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a fantastic guy. That was a brilliant interview, and I learned so much with him with Dave that now I'm in a stage. Maybe I have to buy something. That's why I'm asking you more. If you're going to make more complete boards, maybe I can arrange to do one for me, because I'm a heavy guy. I'm not like you guys. I'm a very heavy guy, and it's not easy for me. I have to have a board with the best structure for me, because I don't know in pounds, but I know that I have close to 100 kilos, my friend. That is a lot.
A big bone boy needs a big bone board.
Yeah. Yeah, but I love to ride very fast, and I love to enjoy it. And now with this shit COVID-19 in Europe is destroying everybody. We cannot go out, we cannot go rides, we cannot do nothing. That is like the world is like closing. But let's put the nice. We don't have to talk. I'm having a blast to have you here, my friend. And can you show us? I see that you have two things there, very beautiful. Yes, two nice birds, two nice boards. What is the difference from the two of them? Because I see that one is different from the other one, the decks.
So
what is
the one? Oh, let me jump back here. So this guy down here.
Wait a second. Yeah. No. Okay.
All right. You guys
I just want.
Let me turn this down a little bit here. All right. Perfect. Okay. So this is the actual deck that David Bond sent me from Denmark. This is, I believe, off of his press, and I kind of take. I don't know if he approves of this or not, but if you look, it's got a really thin profile to it.
Okay.
And so we've got about 20 miles of range of lithium polymer battery in there for this. It's 20 amp hours of 8S. But so what I did to Dave's deck is I took and I cut the center out of it, so it's hollow. And then I built this belly pan in here to put the rigidness back into the board, so it's rigid again. So I took the structural out of the center and I put it underneath the bottom and used that to utilize the area for the battery. And the thing really rides nice. When he designed this deck, he took all of the pickup points and the angles and the drop from this board up top, which is a V4, and he pressed a piece of wood out of that. And I thought that, man, that is just the coolest thing ever. So he sent me this deck, and we put the Truchs on it. And if you can see in the back here, the new Mamba XLX2 ESCs. They're waterproof, so why not run them outside the board?
This is perfect.
It worked out real good because the kick plate in the back, this is what you stand on when you're accelerating hard. It's a really, really nice deck, and it's fun to ride. And I haven't got out and did really any hard performance riding on it. Mamba they need to get with their act. The firmware in these isn't exactly perfect. It's got a couple of things that they need to work out yet. It's still a new ESC, but you know how impatient it is when you have something and it doesn't work. But they work good enough to get out and ride it, but I'm not confident to race it with these yet. They've got one thing that they need to fix, and I'm working with their tech support on it right now. I've sent them videos and all kinds of stuff, and I'm hoping that they have it fixed. But when we get this thing dialed in, we're going to go ahead and put the foot strap on the front of it, and we are going to go out and performance test wood and see if we can get it with the actual V4 tube chassis board and see what happens with that. So I'm excited. I know David is making fantastic speed on his deck at home, and it's just fun watching him ride. He's got just beautiful country out there that he rides in. Yeah,
you're seeing here, he's riding here now. I have a video from him. He's riding
King of the Hill. Yeah, that's the King of the Hill. That's the first ever uphill race in Europe.
Yeah, I didn't know. That was a bless for me. Yeah, that was a bless for me to have Dave here. Now the guys here in Europe, they know this race, and everybody's telling if this summer is everything open, everybody's going to go there because Dave explained how everything works, and we want to bring everybody there and have lots of fun because, first of all, Dave is a fantastic person. He's a fantastic rider, and that is very good for all of us to have a special person in our community here in Europe. And he knows what he's talking about. And when you need the information, I see he's talking with the guys here, and he gives a perfect explanation. He explains everything to the guys, and that sometimes when you have to explain 100 times the same, not everybody has the patience, and he has lots of patience for that, and that is very important for us, for our community, because we are talking about one very fast board, and that is not for everybody. Do you use bindings too?
So we use a half binding. We don't use the heel strap on it. I've come off the board in a binding at the Streets of Lancaster race. I came off. I have had one of the foam wheels, one of the last sets of them, come apart on me, and I went ass over tea kettle. But with the half binding, your foot comes out. I haven't really heard of anybody having ankle injuries, which is that's the main concern with people, is that they don't like being strapped into the board. But as far as the ankle binding or the foot binding, I think it's probably saved guys from going down more than it has hurt people. So I was skeptical of it until I tried it, and after using it, it just makes more sense. My rear foot, I like to have my rear foot free because I like to use my toe on the edge, and I like to use my heel on the edge when I'm turning the back. It makes me feel like I have more control over rear loading. That's just me. Double binding, I'm sure, is just fine too. But as far as the heel hooks, I don't think we need to go heel hooks on these things and make a full binding out of these. Back on that uphill race you're watching there, I'll tell you what, this is probably one of the best opportunities as far as e-skate racing has to go racing, is to piggyback on these downhill events wherever they are. Talk to the promoter. The downhill community is fantastic. Yeah. They are great to work with, and they are more than happy to have the electric boards shooting uphill. It doesn't really impede on their program at all. It doesn't change any of their program. It makes their program. It helps their it actually makes their program better because they have more people on the hill.
We are going to try, my friend. We're going to try it. And I'm a guy. I'm a process. I'm a guy who puts all the community on working. We have to go. The only problem for us, what is we are stuck, is because of this COVID. We don't know if we can go out or not. When we have the authorization, we're going to go, my friend. I'm always around the world. Europe, I'm always everywhere, my friend, and I bring always people, and I have to go to David because I think that is a fantastic event. But just want to tell something, guys. We are just watching a video. That is from David. I'm just going to put this video because this is the new Truchs. He's riding with the new Truchs, and then you can see how the Truchs works. And that is just one way to see it. Is in a kartbaan in Denmark that he always train, I think 2 times or 3 times in a week, and they let it free for him. They are very nice. And here you can see how the Truchs works in speed. And we can continue to talk. I just want to say hello to everybody who comes. Hello, Tom. Tom is our fantastic YouTuber. We're going to see what the people are telling. Let's see what is here. The deck are made like race cars. Yes, my friend. Like speak in the beginning, you can speak. This guy has a big background. I didn't know. Today I know a little more about him. And I think for you to do these trucks, you have to have a background of racing like him. But I just want to see the other improving from Tom. Love everybody. I think your boards are fantastic. I think you are doing a fantastic job. Tom is okay. I just want to put a little from the absolute agree on 100%. I agree. And it was saved my multi times. Yeah. I think Brandon is talking about the bandings. Using the band, it saved him a lot. That sometimes you have to understand because the message they come a little late. And now we're just going to put the Nelson travel everywhere. Okay, I travel a lot, my friends. I go to every event I have the possibility to see my friends around the world, and we have to bring these guys from USA to see us, and we have to go there and see them there because they do every weekend. They do lots of race and lots of fun with friends, and here we don't have this opportunity like you guys. They're talking about NASA roved to Mars. Okay, that's very fun. A skate the moon around, pretty fun. Yeah. My friend, let's talk about the important thing. When we go to your shop, I want to talk about from your shop that is very important. When I come to your shop, I'm going to see the trucks. You can, that is the front trucks.
Oh, you're talking
And-
right behind me here?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here. Oh, let me grab the. Hang on
Yeah,
a
you
sec.
can take it out. Yeah. Perfect.
So I'm going to grab the downhill trucks.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about these because
Yes,
we have done a lot of work on these in a short period of time, and it's kind of cool because we took the design of our e-skate truck, and we went and adapted it to this downhill setup here, and so what we're looking at here, this is a front truck and this is a rear truck here, and you can see pretty much the angles mimic, the RKP reverse kingpin. This truck's sitting about just under 50 degrees of angle in the front and about 11 in the rear. And I've been working with Pro Downhiller Max caps on kind of dialing the feel in on these and getting them to do what we want them to do, bushing wise and whatnot. But I'm thinking that probably the next application for these is going to be hub drives. So it's just a kind of a natural, whether it's direct drive, the motor, then the wheel, or hub drives. It's a nice narrow platform. There's plenty of room, on the axle. We can build the axles any width we want, but I think it'll make a pretty killer little hub drive cruiser at some point.
What you use more normally is the direct drive on your boards.
I don't do hubs or any of that, but as far as what people are buying, what they're riding, and what they're liking, for getting back and forth to wherever, and you want to go, 35 miles an hour on a direct drive, I think that this would be the choice way to go for sure. But,
for the guys there, the bushings, the colors. What is for the guys who want to know what is the difference for the white, the yellow, the green, and the blue? What is the difference from them?
So this is this bushing has a particular shape on the inside of it. It's got 3 different angles on the inside, and we've got Brad from Riptide Bushings to put together a mold and make these things for us. So this is all Brad's formula. This is a Riptide bushing. 90A is the green, and it's the crank formula. It has a little bit different ramping quality than the APS. We're pretty happy where this is at. We tested both the APS and the crank on the downhill stuff, and the crank performed, gave better responses. It tuned a little quicker as far as putting turns in. You could get more of a response feel. So when we go to tune these, we got the baseline. If you want a little firmer, no more than a quarter turn on each side, and it'll give you a different feel, different rebound response. But the white here is 87A, so it's 3 duros softer, and then we run a red crank. to give bushings options for lighter and heavier riders, and it's 84A. The APS stuff was good. I liked it. I still have APS on a board of mine that I ride. I like it. It's just that the crank is it dials in so damn quick. It gives you a bigger area for adjustment, and we really liked the way that it responded to change.
Yeah, that is perfect. I think that is very good. For a person who if it is possible, like me, I'm not talking about the other ones, but I'm asking for the other ones. If it's possible for me to contact you guys and I say I want to have a deck made from you, is that possible? Do you have?
I'm a weekend guy. I got a full-time job during the week, and sometimes between the time I get up and the time I get home from it, it's 13, 14 hours have gone by. So my weekends are important to me. Yeah, my weekends are pretty. It's a lot. My job's fun. I enjoy my job, and I changed careers about 10 years ago. I stopped being a mechanic and started this new one as something else, and it's a pretty good place, and I enjoy that. But I come home from work and I got a couple hours before I get to go to bed, so I'll come out here and work on the trucks. It's kind of a family affair here. My wife is running the book side of it. She's running the books and the internet stuff and kind of the busy end of it, I guess. My son, he's 20 years old. He comes out here and helps me machining parts. And, it's just what you're looking at behind me is it. It's a garage.
My friend, if you come to my garage, is like you. I love it like that. Sometimes they come and they want to change it, and I say leave it like this because I know where everything is. I don't change it.
I'll tell you, this is my way. It's humble beginnings of something, and we don't put anything out in front that we don't have. Yeah. So, if it's not on the website, I don't, I have it here and it's ready to go.
I think
I watched the skate things where these guys come out with something new and, hey, let's put it on a Kickstarter and I need X amount of people so I can do this. And a year and a half later, there's nothing for anybody, And I see that, I'm like, man, how do you sleep at night? It's but so I'd rather take something and do it slow and do it right than do it at all. So yeah, but that's my approach.
But the important thing, you do something very special. The trucks, they are amazing, and I hope that you can find a way to put the wheels too. That was like a perfect combination. I think then everybody was going to be satisfied and everybody can find his deck, and the rest you have lots of places you can do the rest, and the important thing, you have the basis to have balance, to have speed, and you can go very fast, because it's very important for you guys to go to his website. Is explaining how do you have to put everything in order for you to ride it, that has a right positions for everything, and that is not for if you don't see it, if you don't see the videos to understand it. If you try to change it, you're going to just do something wrong, and you're not going to be safe in your board. I want to ask you something, my friend. What do you like more, going uphill, riding in normal against your friends, or do you like to go like a cart bun, like you do in the Sundays, that you can ride, you can change riding speeds and everything?
Well, I'll tell you what, going fast is the adrenaline pump is good. When you're done riding fast, it's like, yeah, you know.
It's
And
like
when
woo!
you're doing it though, you're focused, and your intensity level is it's an 11. It's up here, and you're paying attention to everything. And that's one of the things I like about the gear drives is you can hear it. You can use it as a gauge to how fast you're going by the pitch it's putting out. And if there's any kind of anything that would go wrong, you're concentrating on doing everything perfect so that nothing happens, right?
Yeah.
So that's fun. That's fun. For me, my favorite thing about this is the chase. It's about trying to get it better, and trying to not only get it better, but make it so that we can tune it to do different things, and then bring it back and go, oh yeah, we tried this and that made it. When I get to a point where I run out of everything and I think I know everything, I'm going to be done. I'm going to walk away. But like for me, and it was that way with the stock cars. It was that way with the quarter midgets and the kids. It was that way with the sprint cars. The racing is fun. The competition's great. The getting to that point where you're trying to get it to the best that it can be, that for me is the most rewarding of anything.
And when you see your friends enjoying with something that you made too, because you see the friends from you who are together with you, enjoying, and you see they are safe riding your things that you created. That is more fun.
That too, but you also get to pull talent out of people.
Yeah.
You pull things out of people that they didn't know were there.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I'm past any age where I could think about being great at anything. With my brain and my hands and my feet, as far as controlling a race car or even a skateboard for that matter. But being able to put these things in the hands of Mario, he's only been riding a couple of years, and just watching how far the kids come in such a short time, it's pretty fantastic. And he just keeps getting better. So he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the type of guy. Him and Torgerson both are going to be the type of guys that are going to take what I know and what I've learned and put it to task. And once we put the task, then we can take their information, pull it back, and go, okay, this went right, this went right, this went wrong. But you got to have a guy that'll put the thing on the edge and find it. And I went out and tried, man, and I guaranteed my stuff is 1,000 times better than it was out in the desert. But I ran out of talent at 57 miles an hour. It just plain and simple, I look back at that day and I think to myself, because we went 54 10 minutes earlier and everything was nice and smooth and perfect. But we didn't have Riptide bushings with us. The bushing program wasn't there. It wasn't good at all. So meeting Brad and being able to bring that into the program, that just pretty much pulled everything together. And watching what these guys, Mario and Torgerson and Jason and some of the other riders that come out to Intro to Speed, watching what they do on their boards, we keep pushing the limits. The benefactor of that is going to be Joe Ryder, the guy who likes to cruise at 30, 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Because he's going to end up with something that shoot, man, it's just going to be an extension of your body and you don't have to even think about it. So, like I said, it's a chase. It's all about the chase.
Yeah, you see here in this ride, everybody's going downhill and everybody's having fun, and the roads are not so very good, huh? Yeah,
road's horrible.
That is very bad one. But that the important thing, you go with a bunch of friends, you have lots of fun, you learn with them, and you have lots of speed. The two boards, that is the two twins boards that you was talking about.
You talking about on the video or?
Yeah, in the video.
Okay,
Because
in the
I was-
video. So the video we're showing there, the two guys that were riding were Daniel Engel. That's
Yeah.
Tim Dell right there. Daniel Engel was number 3 in the world downhill
Yeah.
IDF, and Tim Dell is one of 3 guys on the planet that have gone 90 miles an hour on a skateboard. There's
because
Pete Connolly, Tim Dell, and Max Caps.
yeah, because you see the boards they are the same. They look
Oh
the
yeah,
same.
yeah, I got you. Yeah, yeah. Those were the first generation V4. Those were both made side by side in the same shop at the same time with the same everything. So
one of the first boards I see from this ones was in a race of I think was in a race from Involve
World Cup.
World Cup. That was one of the first boards I see of this color. And I say, what is doing here in the Involve event? That has nothing to do with the event. And that I was that is something very new. And
it was kind of a fun deal at Evolve. So that the Evolve World Cup, we had that was the V3. Not either of these boards. It was a front wheel drive board. So we were trying something new. Front wheel drive. We had a guy from San Francisco that was a pretty good skater. I invited him to come down and run it at Evolve. And there was, I think there was 55 entries at that thing. And at one point I had the track record, and then Luke, who was riding the other board, he broke the track record again. We went through the quarterfinals, the finals, and the 3 heat races. So shoot, there was 5 races before we got to the finals, and I had 2 of my boards in the finals, the 2 that showed up. So there were 6 of us that started, and Luke had never been on the board before. He had stepped on the board just the day before and taken it for a short ride. And the next day was Evolve, so he's out in the parking lot trying to get used to it. I'm thinking, oh man, why didn't you do this yesterday, right? So he ends up hitting a slick spot, a mud puddle of water, and runs into a tree, and he comes in and his legs all jacked up. But anyways, he did real well at the World Cup with that front drive. So it was a lot of firsts on that event, and it's always fun to try new stuff out and see how it performs, and he did pretty well for what we had to work with in that shorter period of time. Me, I gassed out, man. By the time the main come around, I didn't have any leg left in the front of me. It was shot. It was shot.
Yeah, but the question here is like this, my friend. What's the name I want to tell? When you go to this race, I see that you go in a weekend. You go to this place in I think LA, and you go to a race, and you see lots of different boards there, because I see lots of different boards. I see the Metro board, I see the LaCroix board, I see bikes there. How is the feeling to ride with all these guys and see your machines showing that you have a beast in your hands?
So it's kind of a fun thing, because there was some talk back and forth about what's faster, a scooter or a skateboard or an electric unicycle, or who's got the bad stuff underneath them, right? So we did that race Apple Valley in November, and the track was not in good shape. It was really bad. We had to put marker cones to mark all the bad spots in the track. I mean, pieces of track missing, aggregate blown, rough sections. So it wasn't by any means a nice track. We've got another race on there coming up next month at Apple Valley, and it's going to have brand new pavement on it. So it's going to be perfect. But we had the electric unicycles on there. We had this thing called a trike, which is some kind of 3-wheel motorized apparatus, and everything you stand on these two platforms, and it's got a wheel up front, and then when you turn, the wheels lean into the turn like a motorcycle, right?
Okay.
And it was fast. It was super fast. We had a couple of big souped up scooters. We had the unicycle guys. Had a Sherman there. A guy who had raced before. He was really fast. And so when we were all done with the day, we had everybody qualify. Everybody ran heat races. Everybody had mains, and we took the winners from each main and stuck them out on the track. And we just had a one lap arm drop, get around the track and see who gets to the end first, right? And we started on the big long straightaway, and Mario had won his heat, and we took off, and we were way ahead by the first turn of everybody. And that guy on that trike, he turned so damn good. The thing just stuck in the corners. It was fantastic, and it was just a lot of fun watching the trike slowly reel Mario in, and about 3/4 track he caught him and passed him, and they were less than a second away from each other at the end of it. And I thought, man, this is, you just, right here we just settled all discussions about anything. So
that's the best place for you to take care of everything. Then
right.
You don't need to talk too much. You just go to direct to the business.
Yeah.
But you see here, you have lots of friends, everybody is they love this sport. And I think today you created a very, very special, first of all, a very special team, because it's not a team, it's a team of friends. I think he's like one family for me, for you. For me, I always talk about my friends' ridings. I always talk about them. They are my friends. I take care of all of them. And I see you take care of all the guys who run with you. And my friend, the other question I want to ask you, what type of controls do you use in your boards? Because I see the control from you is not normally, you don't see that, is more for other types of is because of you want to have a good connection. How that works?
So our controllers, let me grab one of them out here. We get laughed at, and people make fun of us, and they think it's hilarious. And
no,
I heard one person say he's got a gun, but this big gigantic thing right here, I think they're like $30 for the controller and the receiver, and you're another $5-6 for. I run dual receivers in my boards. I just don't want any kind of electrical connection between the ESCs and the motors. So we eliminated that. If there's a back feed and it fries the low voltage side of it, it'll fry the low voltage side on the other motherboard. It'll go right back to it. So anyways, these things here we've been running for 4 years. As far as me, my personal use of these, I've had no fallouts, no step overs, no delays, nothing. They've just been rock solid. And one of the things I learned in racing is simple is better, if it possible. Simple is better. And anytime you try and step out of something that works, you're taking a risk. And we know that it works, and that's why we run it's the GT2B from a company called Fly Sky, and it's about as generic of a controller. It's just big and ugly. Somewhere around here, they make a mod for that. My buddy Tito, the other day, there it is. He's been working on this mod a little bit, and I've tried a couple of them of earlier models of this that other people have made, and it's a shared program, but he's been working on this thing. So that big ass ugly thing I just showed you, it all fits inside of this with his mod. And he has taken the time to make sure everything inside of this locks into a spot and a place, and that the fit and finish is perfect. And then he added a guard to the front of it, and I'm really happy with where this is at. So I ordered a bunch of them from him, and we're gonna put the electronics in these and just kind of size them down a little bit, and maybe somebody won't shout gun.
So the guys here in Europe that they make it, they use the same controls like you, like Truchs here from Germany. He makes all the beasts he makes is use the same control like you. I learn with him because I know my guy. The first important thing you have to have a good connection with your board to your controller. I was one time in Holland, and I was in a kartbaan, and I was in one small place in a curve, was always disconnecting my controller, always. And I said, okay, that is not funny. That is not a good thing, because if you're going very speed, you don't have no brakes, you don't have nothing, it's not going to be good. That's why it's not for me today. I don't look to the controller because you have to be pretty. I have to have a control that I am going to be safe. Right. And that's why I ask you about your controller. I know your controller. I know that your controller is good, but I know that lots of persons say, "Oh, that this controller is for 100 years." Okay, but the important thing, you have a good connection and you don't lose it. Like Mario is there now. Mario is there. Brandon is there, and the two of them, they are saying the same thing. They're saying, "I never have no problems with connections and something like that," and that is the important thing. Yeah, please.
Yeah, it's just a simple matter of function over form. It doesn't have to be pretty to work.
Yeah, no, it don't have to be. The important thing have to work. That's the important thing. So, my friend, first of all, I want to tell something for all of you. The first one was Dave. The second one was Brandon. Now it's going to come Mario. I think because Brandon talked me a lot about Mario. I didn't know Mario. He said he's a fantastic rider and very fast. Now I talk with Mo, and he said to me, he's a fantastic rider too. He's going to come to our live stream. Then we're going to have a special day here, guys, because I arranged to bring all the team together in one live. That is going to be 6 riders together, 6 friends. And it's going to be Brandon, Mario, you. It's going to be, what's the name from the other ones? I think that is Dave too. And it's going to be the other guy, I think, started everything with you. What's the name? This old man. What's the name?
Oh, Brad?
Brad, yeah,
Riptide Brad.
And I'm going to have all of them here on the 25th of April. They're going to come here, all of them, and it's going to be. Then I'm not going to lose all the questions, because questions I'm going to take all of them with all of you together. And I just want to ask you one more thing. Then we're going to leave the rest for the next time. First of all, my friend, what do you like to happen for you in this year?
Shoot, this year working on a gear drive. Would like to get more people on the motors and the open gear drives. I really think that the In-Runner is a lot better platform for e-skate in general, and going fast. It's just a better design. It's more efficient. It makes more power in a smaller package. It runs cooler. It does everything. It does everything right. It's vibrations is a big one, man. It doesn't fall apart. So I would like to be able to get the gear drive available and get the 800 kV motors available, and see some more people on those. The tunability of the Castle products, really, honestly, that V4 that's behind me, I can tune it down and put a 9-year-old on it that's never skated before, and he can learn to skate on that thing.
Yeah.
No joke. You can tune it down that much.
I just want to show a video here. I think it's very important because we make tests. And then you are talking about that. This guy tested everything before, and that's the important thing.
So yeah, just a real quick talk on that. That was the load dyno. I still have it. It's hooked up to my bench over here. I just used it last week on another guy that's testing some wheels. It's a pull down rig, so I'll load that thing down 80 pounds I can put on that wheel. The diameter over diameter, meaning the diameter of the wheel that's running on versus the diameter of the wheel itself, it actually creates a reverse arc for the contact patch. It's actually harder on the wheel than riding on the asphalt. So I can spin that up 60, 70 miles an hour if I want to gear it for that, and just run it and take temperatures and find out where the hot spots are building on the wheels, find out how they delam, how they come apart. Could somebody ride it out if it did come apart? Where's the threshold on here? How far can somebody go on this before they can expect to have problems with it? So it's been a pretty valuable tool. It looks it's really simple.
But sometimes the simple things is the best things, my friend.
It's easy. Yeah, it is. It is.
Sometimes. Hey, guys, I just want to tell something for you. If you want to go to I'm going to leave all the links from him. If you want to go to his Facebook, then you're going to see lots of photos from him of rides, friends, everything. If you want to go to Instagram, I'm going to leave it all the links from him. Then you're going to see lots of products from him, how the trucks work, what you can maybe you want to buy. First of all, I just want to say I don't win nothing with this. He's doing this. He's a rider. He's a person who creates something for the community. I don't win nothing with this. He's not paying me nothing. That is just for us riders. And I think he's one of the very special person. I tell on the beginning, I'm very proud to have him here in a small channel because my channel is very small, and I'm very proud to have him here, and he give me the chance. Then if you want to go to his shop, you're going to have his shop there. You're going to have the videos explaining everything, what you're going to buy. And if you want to see the trucks, you're going to see that is the hats, what he was talking about, t-shirts, if you want to have one of them. If you want to go to the trucks, then you have the different trucks from him. The website has everything there. Then you have photos on his gallery. But you're going to find everything. All the links I'm going to leave it there. You're not going to lose nothing. And guys, first of all, try it. If you are an experienced rider, if you want to have fun, if you want to have safety, these trucks from him, you're going to have lots of fun, lots of safety, and you're going to make your board. You don't make a complete board, but they make one of the most important parts for the board is the trucks. When the trucks are not good, the board is not going to be good. It's very, very simple. My friend, I'm going to leave you. I want you to leave you with last words. First of all, you have lots of friends who came today here to see you. Maybe tomorrow is going to be more persons who going to see the video. If you want to leave some message for your friends and for the guys who was here, and the last words is for you. For me, I just want to thank everybody to come, and I see you on Sunday. Sunday is going to be Hella from Germany, a rider, a girl. In the morning, and in the evening we're going to have the Lazy Rollings with us, because they're going to talk a little more about safety. My friend, the last words is for you.
So just a shout out to the people who have these trucks in their hands and are making their builds with them. I like to see what you guys do with these things. We've got a couple of guys taking the 30-degree mountain boards and building stuff. I saw there was a set on a prototypo with the motor sticking out in the back. I helped them set those things up a little bit. Kind of turned out pretty cool. I'd like to say hi to Mario and Torgerson and Jeremy and all the guys down there at Intro to Speed that are down there every weekend. They set up a set of cones down in Torrance. If you're in striking distance of Southern California, go down there and hang out. Short track is fun. It's not a lot of speed involved in it, but there's a lot of stuff to learn there, and it does get pretty technical as far as setting up your board and getting the most out of you and getting the most out of your equipment that you have. You don't have to be fast. You don't have to be great, but it's a good place to go learn and get better, and that stuff will help you out on the street when you're just doing cruising. Another thing too, March 27th, we're going to be back at Apple Valley Speedway. It's a free ride. It's brand new pavement. It's 0.8 of a mile around this track. There's going to be a lot of stuff there. What I understand is that the Flux Movement One Wheel Army is going to be out there. He said could possibly be 50 riders racing one wheels out there. And I guess from what I understand, it could be a qualifier race for the national event that's coming up that's being sponsored by One Wheel. So, I mean, just to come out and watch some of these guys run, it'd be interesting. I'm sure that Trike will come back out. They're a Southern California company that builds a pretty interesting PEV. And they're fast. Not so much acceleration, not so much high top speed, but boy, they take a turn good. They really do. And if you just want to come out and free ride the track's going to have open track most of the day. And you want to come out and just play. Come out and play. It's going to be a good time. Yeah, if you're anywhere in Southern California on March 27th, that's the place to be. If you have a electric skateboard, electric unicycle, one wheel, electric scooter, it's all good.
That is the spirit, my friend. Sometimes it's very difficult. I just want to end like this. He said one of the important things. Sometimes it's very difficult for us to listen to that. He said everybody is welcome. If you have a bike, if you have, that's the important thing. Sometimes I listen. I'm a one wheeler. I just go with one wheel. Just have fun, enjoy the day, and that was the prototype we was talking about. This prototype came out, and that is the machine.
I rode that, and it was surprisingly. I've rode a prototype before, and it was a channel trucks. Just they don't. I'd love to do some research and development on channel trucks because I think there's a lot there to be made better. But the ones that I did ride weren't good, and it was really fun to jump on this board. Haven't jumped on one before, and being able to turn and like I said, just an extension of your body. So.
When I see it the first time and I see that, I say that is not normal. Do you know LaCroix website, they make the question. One guy made the question and asked them to the LaCroix riders, what was the best board made by the LaCroix? And the best board, everybody answered was the prototype, not the other ones. Everybody was amazed by that's one thing they have to listen, the guys from LaCroix. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the prototypo, the width, the length, the weight, it's a pretty, as far as a production board, it's got a pretty good balance all the way around. And the guys who ride them love them. And how can you argue with that?
Yeah, of course. First of all, I just want to answer some questions, guys. Here, this channel is for everybody. If you want to come here to the channel, I don't have they are asking that this channel is for racing. No, this channel is for one wheel. Sometimes I'm going to have one wheels. Sometimes I'm going to have a scooter. Sometimes I'm going to have a bikes. Sometimes in a moment. Is like this. Last month was one wheels. This month we have more skaters, more speed riders. Next month is going to be more a bikes. The channel is for riders. It's not, for me. I'm not a guy is looking for this or this or this. I'm looking for guys who ride. It's going to come lots of different persons, and I try to exchange, not just to bring from America, just to bring from Europe. I try to bring people from around the world and riders. That's the important thing. Oh, that just for me to explain to everybody. My friend, thank you very, very, very much for coming to the this small channel. I hope that you have lots of success. I hope that I can come this year in the summer, maybe with Dave to your country and have a ride with you guys and know you a little better. If we have the chance this year, is not going to be possible in Paris because they was here in my channel, and Cedric he said is not going to happen the race this year, just going to happen next year in 22 because of this problem of the COVID-19. My friend, I hope to see you very soon. I think in 25 we're going to see it again all together.
So.
I think that is going to be an amazing day with the 6 guys of you. I think that I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to listen for you 6 guys speaking and enjoying. That's the important thing.
We'll just drink beer and rip on each other for an hour. How's that?
I just want to have fun, my friend, and I enjoy every day. And I have a blessed to have this small channel and knowing so much nice persons and fantastic person all around the world. I don't need to be famous. I just want to have friends that I can ride, have fun, and forget the problems of the world. We have lots of shit in the world, and that is not important. Just positive energy. That's important. And you started with the important thing. You started talking about your daughter, and I think that was the special moment for me, that you don't talk about you talk about your doctor. And that is beautiful, my friend. That was a very special moment. I feel you have lots of love for your doctor, and I think she's very, very proud of the father she has. Thank you, my friend. Enjoy it. Have a good day. Continue to create beautiful and fantastic things for all of us. We love it.
You got
okay,
it.
my friend.
Okay, so everybody guys. Be good, y'all, huh? Everybody be good.
Hey, guys, we're going to go out. Bye-bye. Thank you, and I see you.